Imagine yourself as a 14-year-old girl. You have to accept that your planet is dying. The views you'd see at the park or the vacation spot your family would go to will soon be dust. A memory lost to space and time. But hope is not lost. Your father is a brilliant scientist and found a way to protect your city and launch it into space. However, the atmosphere is going to change the rock that you're on. It will begin to poison you, your mother, and every person that still remains by your side. But hope is not lost. You and your people begin building a lead shield to protect you from your own planet. Many lives are lost in this process, including your own mother. How do you move forward on this ticking time bomb? Before long, the inevitable happens. A storm of rocks fall like rain, tearing apart the lead shield so many died to build. But hope is not lost. Your father is a brilliant scientist after all, and in one last attempt to save what is dearest to him, he repurposes some of that lead and begins to make a makeshift rocket, big enough for only one. You get sent away, leaving your father and what remains of your people to wither and die on the planet you all love so much. This was the reality for Kara Zor-El, and on top of all that, by the time she finally reaches her destination, where she knew her baby cousin would be, he's somehow a grown man, now older than she is. That's why in Tom King and Bilquis Evely's Woman of Tomorrow, it's easy to understand the mindset that Kara's in. She travels to planets with red suns so that she can feel the effects of alcoholic drinks. However, the party abruptly stops when she watches a big burly man backhand a little girl and steal her sword from her. And although Kara may be drunk right now, she is still Supergirl, so she grabs the man's arm and says to give back the sword, or the two will have to fight. This does nothing but enrage the burly man, who is angry that another woman would backtalk him, so he begins to lash out. Supergirl begs for him to stop, not to surrender, but so that she could finish her drink, as it is her birthday after all. She downs the bottle, smashes it over the burly man's face, and begins to whoop his ass. During the fight, she blacks out, and when she wakes up, she's in a bed with the young girl, Ruthie, sitting beside her, who tries talking to her, but Kara seems a bit occupied at this moment. In a way, Ruthie's world was taken from her as well. Though the planet she stands on remains the same, her dear father, a humble rock farmer, was murdered by a brigand that goes by the name of Krem of the Yellow Hills. As Kara tries to leave and get on her ship to go home, she realizes Ruthie was following her, as she wanted to hire Kara to kill the man who killed her father. Kara tries to politely decline this offer, saying how she understands her pain. However, this does nothing but enrage Ruthie, as she shouts back at Kara, saying that she doesn't understand. She lost her whole world. And just as Kara began to think about Krypton, she was shot through the chest with an arrow, causing her to fall backwards onto the ground. Krem of the Yellow Hills is the one who fired the arrow, the one who killed Ruthie's father, and now the one with Krypto the Superdog in his sights. Though on this planet with a red sun, he's more like Krypto the regular dog. Seeing Krypto get shot enrages Kara, so she gets up and pushes forward, taking 2 more arrows to the chest. She pushes through this, saying, "I'm Supergirl. Do you think I give a shit about swords and arrows?" She drops the man that was with Krem while he escapes. Ruthie does try to stop him, but it doesn't work out, so he steals Kara's ship and flies away into space, leaving the trio on the ground. The 2 women travel slowly by way of space public transportation. A criminal who once had a run-in with Superman wants to get revenge on him by attacking Supergirl. He found out that Kara does not play around. Later in their quest to find Krem, they come across a Carpane dragon, which just so happens to eat metal. And since Kara had just spent time under a red sun, she was not charged up enough to fight the dragon head-on. So she goes to the passengers and finds a red kryptonite capsule, and this grants her the power to transform and finally fight the dragon. After a goofy moment where Kara realizes that Ruthie doesn't wash her hands, Ruth asks if Kara ever sought out revenge for the destruction of Krypton. Kara seems filled with regret at this question as she responds, "No, I didn't." Later on, the two would find planetary records that indicate Krem was arrested in a city called Maypole. They spoke to a police officer from the area, but Kara felt he lied, so they decided to get a hotel room where the desk lady was also very suspicious. From her room, Kara used her X-ray vision and saw Krem was nowhere to be found. Everyone on this planet was a blue-colored species. The next morning at breakfast, Kara noticed many things had a fresh coat of blue paint on them. She used her X-ray vision again to reveal underneath one of the signs it had said, "No purples allowed." They tried to question the waitress, but she acted suspicious just like the others, so they spent the rest of the day questioning random citizens of Maypole, but everybody said the same thing, that everything was as it should be, perfect and blue. Later that night, as the two tried to sleep, gunshots burst through the walls and windows of their room. Kara shielded Ruth with her body until the shooting stopped. Then she chased the attackers. She brought them to the police station and then went to speak with the mayor, who could not have made it more obvious that he was involved in this attack. They realized talking to the people of Maypole was a waste of time, so they decided to fly around and scan the perimeter of the city, where they found a destroyed sign saying Purple Town on it, which later led her to all the bodies of the dead purple citizens. Kara went back to the police station, and this time she wasn't leaving without answers. This was where the cop finally told her about the deal the Blues had made with Krem. In order to protect their city from the brigands, they would have to pay a substantial amount of money as well as sacrifice all of the purples to the brigands. This shocks Ruthie to her core, as she's never experienced something quite like this. They track Krem through 3 more massacres, where Kara gets so angry that she flies up to a yellow sun and screams in the center of it. Finally, after so much time searching, they finally caught up with Krem of the Yellow Hills, only for him to turn around and toss a Mordu globe at them, instantly teleporting them to a different planet, a planet with a green sun, a planet that was built as a trap for the Superman. Though Superman only spent 45 minutes on this planet, Ruthie and Kara had 10 hours until the sun would go down. This would test Ruthie's mettle, but she would prove to be a capable warrior in her own right, fending off a dinosaur all on her own. Exhausted by her battle, she would fall asleep to be woken by some flying creatures. Luckily, Kara mustered whatever strength she had left and used her heat vision on them just in time. With just moments until the sun would go down, Kara could not take it anymore. She felt so sick that she needed water immediately, but the pond was a trap. Yet another monster comes to attack Supergirl and Ruthie, but just in the nick of time, the green sun would dip below the horizon, allowing Kara to gather her strength once again so the two could fly off into space. Once again, Supergirl would track down Krem, who was of course committing more crimes. He threw yet another Mordu globe at them, but this time she came prepared. Kara jumps on Comet the Superhorse, and they run through space and time, ultimately reaching a place where the Mordu globe would not work. Finally, after all this time, Kara and Ruthie catch Krem of the Yellow Hills, but the fight is not over. The brigands have a strict code to save any captured member of their gang. While Ruthie, Comet, and a tied-up Krem wait on a planet below, Kara meets the brigands in space, ready to fight. While Kara struggles in space to fight the pirates, Ruthie realizes that Comet is not actually there to protect her, but to stop her from getting revenge on Krem. The pirates get the better of Kara, and just before they can shoot her with a kryptonite bullet, Comet gets in the way, giving his life for hers, and now leaving the pirates with nothing to stop the Supergirl. Back on the beach, Ruthie has untied Krem. She places her sword between the two and challenges him to a duel, a courtesy he did not grant her father. They fought in the sand until Ruthie ultimately won, but when the time came to finally drive her sword into the criminal, she just could not do it. Kara returns to the surface of the planet with the body of a man in her arms who turns out to be Comet. She grabs the sword and goes to kill Krem. Ruthie asks her about Krypto, and Kara said she was fine at the vet. She really did all this because she wanted to teach Ruthie that killing and seeking out revenge is wrong. Kara says, "You didn't learn anything, did you?" Which makes all the sense in the world because I couldn't teach you. Because I still dream of Krypton. As Kara goes to make the final blow, Ruthie shouts, "I learned." She tells Kara how watching her all this time made her realize that causing more violence and killing and seeking revenge is not the answer. Finally, to conclude the story, we see Kara and Krypto return to Ruthie's planet, though Ruthie is an old woman now. They let Krem out of the Phantom Zone after hundreds of years inside, where they say he truly changes his ways. The moment he comes out, he begs Ruthie for forgiveness, but she just knocks him out, and they all part ways. What's up, guys? It's Scotty. I just wanted to reread the Woman of Tomorrow comic in honor of the movie coming out. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.